I've talked about him a lot lately. I've actually talked about him a lot going back years now. And I don't really watch VTubers, not because I have anything against them. It's just not really my type of content. It's not for me. But I don't judge anybody who enjoys it. Who I do judge, though, are specific VTubers and specific fans of specific VTubers. Not specific fans, but the fans of specific VTubers. And one of these creators I have been calling out for years now, due to, God, I think the first time I ever called him out, ironically, considering I'm finally playing through Cyberpunk 2077 for the first time, was Rev Says Desu, a guy who I discovered when I saw his video about Cyberpunk Edgerunners come up in my recommended. Rev Says Desu. He's a VTuber. He's very right-wing in his politics, and he is a lolicon. The reason why I understood him to be a lolicon, as my first impression of the guy, was he'd made a video celebrating what was, ironically, a mischaracterization of Studio Trigger's statement already, but we're not going to delve into that. More or less what his video was celebrating the idea of a lolly character being kept in a piece of media, even though Netflix didn't like it. That was what he was celebrating in his video, saying that woke Netflix hates lolly and they lost the battle. And his thumbnail was something like, "The lolly stays," I think was the text in his thumbnail. And that was my first introduction to Rev Says Desu. So I made a video calling him out about how creepy he is and how weird he is. And his fan base came down on me like, I don't know, like piss raining down on you from an upstairs balcony when you walk by. It was quite unpleasant and gross. But at the end of the day, just kind of an inconvenience. Nonetheless, they've come back to do that every time I've criticized the guy. And oh boy, has he had a lot to say. Was that about Rebecca from the Cyberpunk anime? Yeah, and she's not a lolly character anyway, but they, at the time, a lot of lolicons were fixated on claiming adult women as lolly characters, such that they could normalize it and convince people that lolicon doesn't just mean attracted to underage characters, it means being attracted to, like, short or petite or, like, young-looking characters, even if they're older. And no, that is not the definition, and that is not how it is applied within those communities. It was a mass gaslighting of the internet, and I called it out, and Rev Says Desu got mad. Regardless, though, Rev Says Desu, a guy like this, you might imagine, what is this guy's girlfriend? What was the last woman this guy talked to? His body pillow? Right? Here's the thing, though. He's married. Apparently, Rev Says Desu is married and has a wife, and she's not an inanimate pillow. She is, however, an anime girl. A VTuber, to be precise. Now, you might be wondering, whoa, if Rev Says Desu was able to get married to a real woman, what kind of freak must she be to know who that guy is, to know that what that guy does, and still be like, oh yeah, I want this dude? Let's find out. She can do better? I assure you she can't. You're about to find out why. Today, we're gonna be talking about a VTuber's disturbing Discord server that got exposed. I believe this is actually the Discord server of Rev Says Desu's wife, if I'm not mistaken. That's at least what the person who recommended this video in my Discord server, like, tagged it with in the stream suggestions channel. So I guess we're going to find out what the deal is with Rev Says Desu's VTuber wife. His waifu, if you will. So without any further ado, let's get into it, folks. Hit that like button if you haven't already, and let's go. Oh my god, that's quiet.
So this pretty big VTuber by the name of Leaflit has recently been going viral, and it all started from a clip of them basically refusing to disavow Nux Taku and him having a Discord server where we all know a few people under the age of 18 were able to sneak.
Oh yeah, I've been calling out Nux Taku for a while now. You guys, if you watch me, you're gonna be hearing it. Like, I sound like a broken record, but was I not completely right all those years that Nux Taku is going to be the next Shadman, the next Epstein of YouTube? That we're gonna have like years of people going, why did all these big YouTubers buddy around with this Nux Taku guy who's obviously a pedophile, just like everybody did after Shadman got canceled? Everyone realized he was a creep and decided, wait, why is this guy being allowed around anyone? Again, used to watch that guy, embarrassing on my part. Dude, these people get normalized by the whole rest of the platform. I won't necessarily blame you if you thought that, like, oh, maybe it's just an ironic bit because all these big YouTubers buddy up with the guy. But no, when there's a dude who's just a weirdo that makes weirdo fucking videos, and for some reason every YouTuber is friends with the guy, that is not, like, that doesn't mean that the guy is actually secretly chill and it must all be ironic. It means the dude's a fucking weirdo, and all these big YouTubers are weird for not disavowing the guy. This has happened many times. Hell, it happened. I think one of the original times that I remember it happening was with Onision and all the YouTubers that used to be chill with him. You know, like, then people realized how much of a fucking weirdo he was, and he became a lolcow, and now the internet hates him. But dude, like, people look back at that and they're like, how could so many creators have been chill with this guy? It's like, people were calling it out then too.
In there.
Actually, you know, to be honest, I don't even want to get involved in any of this drama. I'm just being real. I just don't want.
Is this Rev Says Desu's wife? I'm just going off of what that one chatter in Leaflit is not Rev's wife. It's Darling Strawby is Rev's wife. Okay, so I'm just guessing this is a friend of his then. What was it that the chatter who recommended this originally said? Let me see. Who lied to me? Who fucking lied to me? PB, aka Alicia. How could you lie to me? How could you lie to me? Rev's wife, by the way. How could you lie to me like this? Listen. Rev's wife better come up in the video or you're a liar. You're a liar and I'll never trust you again.
I just don't care enough.
Essentially leading to Nux Taku taking no type of blame, blaming the parents, saying he had no idea any of this stuff was happening. This caused this person by the name of Leaflit and Asari, pretty big content creator.
They're a mother-daughter duo that push right-wing culture war slop, according to DJ Reaper Skier. What the fuck? Huh? I guess it's not too different from, what's his name? What's the guy's name? The dude who, Ranting for Vengeance and his dad. It's kind of like that. Dude, the amount of, like, kids getting groomed into political radicalism by their own parents, and then, like, on YouTube, in front of the whole world, is insane. What is going on?
With 173,000 subscribers, basically refusing to disavow Nux Taku and refusing to actually engage with the content before attempting to slander it.
Is Nux still cool or is he still getting canceled? Dude, I don't even know the Nux situation at all, to be honest. But I'm gonna guess it's really stupid. That's what I'm gonna guess. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Nux. Like, I mean, I don't know the story behind it, but I'm pretty sure that the drama's probably dumb. There's probably a lot of misunderstandings. That's my guess.
Now, if only there was, you know, some website that has billions.
Dude, it feels so cathartic to finally see these people become lolcows. Like Nux Taku, Rev Says Desu. Like, the entire like realm of weirdo, hentai, weeb, right-wing, lolicon VTubers, that whole group, like I'm glad that like the rest of the VTubing community has finally gotten so fed up with them that they're actively calling it out now. That's probably the thing that's turning the tide the most, is that the rest of the VTubing community, the people who aren't freaks and weirdos, are calling these guys out now. They don't want Nux Taku to be a part of their community. They don't want Rev Says Desu to be a part of their community. They don't want the, like, Kirsch? Is it Kirsch or whatever? The right-wing Nazi lady? They don't want these people to be part of their community, and they're being excommunicated. It's great.
Of videos on it where you can easily just type in like Nux Taku drama or Nux Taku situation or a freaking Nick Andros and find said video, but no, let's just play dumb and pretend, you know, the internet's hard to use. We don't know where this video is, right? Who knows?
You're not supporting Nux and you have watched him for 2 years. So what happened, Matt? Okay, is there a video? Actually, I you know what, to be honest, I don't even want to get involved in any of this drama. I'm just being real. I just don't care enough.
Now you may be wondering who exactly Asari is. We know Leaflit is the topic of today's video. Asari is Leaflit's mother. Official channel for Leaflit and Asari, mother and daughter streamer duo. And it ended up coming out that Leaflit had a Discord that was very similar to Nux Taku's, which kind of explains why she had that XL.
The reason Leaflit does not care about Nux's grooming server is because she runs a Discord with minors that allows talk of NSFW content. In the rules list, it's C number 6 of @Leaflit server, they allow minors and talk about NSFW content. What? See rule 6. Act like responsible adults even if you may not be. Oh my god. Oh no. I may seem like an asshole because I'm kind of laughing, but I'm laughing because I knew it. I called it out for years, and I'm happy that people are finally figuring it out. Because I wasn't joking when I called these people pedophiles. You know, like, God, when did Edge Runners come out? Like, you can literally date when I started calling these people pedos and calling them out by how old Cyberpunk Edge Runners is when that came out. Because the release of that is roughly around the time when I started calling these particular VTubers out. And now it's finally happening. People are finally figuring it out.
Room out trying to sweep for the exact same thing
Catharsis.
that she was a part of. And the craziest part was that Asari, aka Leaflit's mother, is the owner.
Leaflit then confirms that her mom owns it.
But did you start it, or people are saying that your mom actually owns it?
The reason my mom owns it is in case that it's to protect from like a crazy mom. Okay, so
Nothing to do with me, it's my mommy.
So it's not Leaflit taking accountability. She's throwing Mommy Asari, great-grandma VTuber, under the bus, under the goon bus, for the server that she also had that had minors sneak into it. And I use the word sneak.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't know if like Leaflit is like a teenager or something. I guess she could be. But if she's also an adult, it's still pretty bad. But like a minor running a Discord server with other minors in it and they talk about NSFW stuff is way less bad than the mother running the Discord server full of minors talking about NSFW stuff. And then there's also the factor, keep in mind outside of all of this, that they have the NSFW channels where they post NSFW content. They allow minors, but they also allow adults. It's not like it's a minors only server. It's an adults and minors with NSFW allowed server. Explicitly. That's not good. That is not okay. Everybody knows that's not okay. There's no universe where you can even play dumb and act like you couldn't just use your head to figure out, oh, probably shouldn't do this. You know, Like, I know how long it takes to set up a Discord server. I made my Discord server. I assure you, there's plenty of time in the process of setting up a Discord server to think, maybe we don't let minors be around anything NSFW that's being posted. Hell, during the writing of this entire rules list, they had a lot of time to think of that one. I don't know, guys.
Very lightly, as their own rules of the Discord don't prohibit minors. Number 6 says, act like reasonable adults. Even if you may not be 18, know that this is treated as an adult server. That sentence is disturbing. Literally right under number 5 that says, no NSFW outside the adult channel, no or UA/lollipop content, period. So they're literally saying that, hey, you can go post NSFW in the adult channels, but this is all.
I like how this VTuber, I'm pretty sure, is friends with lolicons, but even in their, like, grooming Discord server, banned the posting of lolly, even in the NSFW section. What does that tell you about what these people know that they're doing? Because they love to play dumb. They love to be like, what, you're just calling people pedophiles because you don't understand anime. I get that all the time. And it's like, no, you're playing dumb. You're playing dumb. You know what lolly is. You know what it means to identify that way. Yeah, they love to do that. But when their own friends recognize that it's a particular taboo, that tells you a lot, I think. They know what they're doing.
Also an adult server, but you don't really have to be 18. Literally in the rules, right? This is not something where, you know, even in Nux Taku's case, people were able to just click a I'm 18 roll and lie, which is still stupid. You need definitely more verification than that. You don't even have to be 18. The rules of this server literally say that.
You're going to verify
even going to the
adults.
point where there was an adult member of this Discord who was messaging one of the younger people and sent them thigh pics.
15th Watcher says he's a simp and keeps wanting me to send thigh pics. Dear viewer, please remember this. Sounds like you should have blocked him a while ago. WTF is his issue. In response to the block button suggestion, the 15th Watcher says, I feel too bad for him. As before with this person, what? Dave responds quizzically. Kiss says he's a minor though. No point in talking to him.
Okay. The I feel too bad to block this person who's being creepy in my DMs line is always a cop-out. No one's ever, that's never the reason why. People like attention. Even if it's from someone that they don't actually want to do anything with, people like receiving attention. And that's what's so skeevy and dangerous about groomers. They recognize that some teenager on Discord, even if they're not interested, will be happy to receive attention. And this kid, you know, isn't blocking the weirdo asking them for thigh pics because they like having someone who's, like, enthused to talk to them. They like having attention. Everybody does. Everybody likes a bit of attention. And groomers like to take advantage of that. And unfortunately, a lot of people are all too happy to let a weirdo stay in their DMs and entertain them in exchange for that. The problem is minors are not exactly capable enough of not letting that turn into something dangerous.
23 minutes after the actual ban, the 15th Watcher says, I already have dread thinking about my past interactions with him. I sent him a fully covered and clothed...
Parents, this is why you need to give your kids attention or some weirdo on the internet will. Good point. Good point, Popo, huh?
...thigh picture once to get him to shut up. I fear it made it much, much worse.
To which one of the members of this Discord ended up blaming the minor. They ended up saying the minor was the one harassing the adult user who ended up sending these pictures to this person. So
Precure was complaining about my video, calling it bad faith and complaining that it doesn't give them a clear idea of anything wrong happening. And they in fact have counter evidence that I suppose they're upset I didn't include. You see, they have evidence that the child was asking for it very aggressively. Someone asks Precure what they're trying to prove, and they explain that they're proving it's a 15-year-old taking advantage of that person. There's no power imbalance because they're both retarded. I was told this was a based VTuber community.
Is it a 15-year-old demanding thigh pics of an adult, or an adult demanding thigh pics of a 15-year-old? Either way, it's a fucked up situation where bans need to occur, but I am confused as to who did what. It doesn't really matter either way, regardless of which way it's going. The fact that's happening in that Discord server and no one's doing anything about it, insane.
But that is literally the wokest thing I have ever heard in my life. Goth asks, where's the control?
This Harmful Opinions guy is like a pretty right-leaning channel, from what I am aware.
Obviously. Precure says, they're trying to get us to ban the retard who got groomed by the minor, in response to the earlier post about there being no power imbalance.
now, Harmful Opinions is another commentary channel. Think of like Nick Andros, right? You have Harmful Opinions, commentary dude who covers interesting topics. He's been covering all of it, right? Tectone, he's been covering Nux Taku, and Leaflit. He's made about 3 videos, 14.
Harmful Opinions is quite shitty. I don't really dislike Harmful Opinions, because like I think way back in the day, he used to make anti-woke, like anti-SJW content actually, because this was before the anti-woke era. He made anti-SJW videos, and I like dunked on one of his videos. And in more recent years, based on what he's posting, he's like calling out groomers and predators and stuff, and not doing like weird culture war nonsense. So I actually have to say, this is a big improvement. You know, because last time I checked in on this guy, he was doing like some of the most low effort chud content out there. Now he's actually calling out people who I would argue really deserve it. You know, he's actually putting out content that I'd say is doing some good. So don't really have too much bad to say about him.
minutes, 5 minutes, and 32 minutes, right? So we've got 40 or 50 minutes worth of content that basically anyone on this side of YouTube, you know, that Nux Taku bubble, the Leaflit bubble, they're just sweeping or trying to pretend that this video doesn't exist, or kind of like we just looked at, one thing they love to do is call everything
groomed by a minor. Did I say groomed by a minor? Did I misspeak? Groomed a minor is probably what I meant to say if I misspoke.
a bad faith. You can literally show these guys 45 minutes of footage of you just scrolling through a public Discord, literally nothing edited, no AI tricks here, nothing, no tricks up our sleeves, and they'll say, oh, this is just bad faith.
Because like a year ago, I was definitely a lot more willing to talk to people, and I was a lot more willing to like engage with, you know, these kind of bad faith people.
If I'm making these suggestions and pointing these things out in bad faith, it doesn't change whether my suggestions are good or not, does it? Why does she not want to make things better? In the words of Shia LaBeouf, just do it.
They're not trying to communicate. They're not trying to like have an honest conversation. They just want to hurt you for their benefit.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Watch the video and debunk why they're bad faith. You can't tell me again, like in the situation of Nux Taku regarding Leaflit, where you're like, oh, I don't really even know what's going on, but then also call something bad faith. You can't just throw out words when you haven't even tried to engage faithfully with the content. By definition, you're the only people here that are bad faith. Kind of like Chibi Reviews and all these other YouTubers out there who are basically...
The chuds in the video were claiming that an adult was groomed by a minor. Lol, you're good, Zan. Okay, listen. I sometimes misspeak and just don't even notice it, and just keep speaking, and then I see chat reacting to my misspeak, and I'm like, wait, did I say it? Did I misspeak, or did someone else misspeak? Little did I know, it was someone else, and they weren't misspeaking. They were just retarded. So, sorry about that, guys. Sorry.
Basically trying to defend this and be like, oh, well, I know Leaflit and they're a good person. That doesn't matter. Good people do stupid things. Good people make mistakes. Good people apologize and
President
take
Taku.
accountability. And again, if an entire video is bad faith, wouldn't you want to just make content on it? You know, just click start streaming and watch the video, laugh at it, and debunk everything? That's because you can't debunk any of it. This all happened. Again, all it will do is expose the fact that Leaflit is literally engaging in the thing that they're sweeping Nux Taku for, when Nux Taku and Leaflit, all they have to do is come out and say, hey, I screwed up. Hey, this stuff was happening again in my server. This stuff was happening in my community. Yeah, my mom might own it in the case of Leaflit. Yeah, it might be a Patreon server where you technically have to have like a credit or debit card to join it, which a kid can get a debit card. Yeah, okay, accidents still happen. It's still associated to you.
I think I had a debit card at 15. At least at the youngest, at the oldest, I got my first debit card at 16. Because I got my I got a joint bank account with my parents for like at the credit union, and I had my account and I needed it for direct deposit at my first job. So like, yeah, that like the idea of needing to put in a debit card being like a barrier that keeps underage people out, not true. I can tell you I am one exception to that expectation, and I imagine many of you guys also had bank accounts with debit cards for direct deposit when you got your first jobs at like 16, 17. That is not unusual at all.
Still the Nux Taku Discord. It's still the Leaflit Discord. Take accountability. That's all people want. Whether that be banning the minors, right? Banning the kiddos, banning not safe for work. You still shouldn't really have a Discord with kids in it. That's just kind of weird. But that's one step in the right direction, right? Ban these things. People are, in your eyes, bad faith, right? Some people would consider this like snarking. No, you're giving them content. By you just refusing to actually cover this topic, you're just giving them more things to basically cover and debunk, because you're just digging yourself into a hole. And one thing that's so annoying that all these creators do is they will not take that accountability. They will blame parents. They will say, it's not my job to monitor kids.
Snot-nosed Swagger is such a good name. Holy shit. I'm sorry to interrupt, but that name just got me.
You can by putting an age restriction. You can by forcing people to have an ID check, as stupid as it may seem. You can by, again, putting up as many measures as you can to try to prevent people from getting in, without, of course, shifting the blame to parents, without shifting the blame on kids, without shifting the blame on your mom, who's a gooner. That's still like an insane concept to me.
Oh my god. Oh no. You just know they have the most degenerate fucking gooner fan base on the planet, dude. Oh my god. Like, look at the profile picture of their account and their avatars and their brand. Like, what, like, okay, what are they trying to communicate with this profile picture and this brand? The mother-daughter, I guess, right-wing VTuber duo? And the mom is apparently a proud gooner, as in a serial porn consumer? A serial masturbator? Like, literally has a problem? Because, like, the definition of gooner, if we're not, like, using it in the meme sense, is, like, debilitatingly addicted to porn. If that is just the most Sweet Home Alabama branding I've ever heard.
Own mom is also a content creator.
Leaflit herself went on to Mama Arco's stream to defend this mod and respond to the situation in general. Leaflit talks about the Discord server not being hers.
And you had already told me
Well, damn, sorry for lying in the intro, guys. I thought I was lied to by one of my lovely chuds in my Discord server who told me that this segment was about Rev says Desu's wife, who's apparently a different figure. I guess we'll look into her at some point, see if she's got some crazy ass like weird groomery content or something like that. Who knows? But this was still quite interesting. I won't lie, bruh. How embarrassing. Listen, they lied to me, alright? They lied to me, or they got it wrong. But let's just assume malice, because it's funny, and say that they lied. Anyway, folks, I think here is where I'm going to call it for this segment. I love seeing the downfall of these awful right-wing groomer, pedo, weirdo fucking VTubers. I'm so glad the rest of the VTuber community is calling them out and excommunicating them. This is what I needed to see all these years. This is what I've wanted, and I am so happy. I want to hear what you guys' thoughts are too, so comment them down below when this goes out on YouTube. Leave a like on this video as well. Like the video also. If you're watching it now and you enjoy the stream, leave a like on it. Be sure to subscribe and ring the bell icon if you want to see more stuff from me in the future. Follow my social media, around down below. I appreciate you seeing me, like my posts around social media, keeping up with things. It's always good to be able to do that, diversify where you follow me. And don't forget to join my fan Discord. It's the main hub of my community and fan base. I hope to see you guys around there. And finally, if you want to support me directly, financially, help me keep the lights on and a roof above my head here at the Xander Hall studio, then please consider donating, subscribing, or gifting a sub on my website, xanderhall.com/live, or through YouTube. Regardless of how you support the stream, though, thank you for watching, even if you're lurking, and have a good one.